If we bet on Sam Houston State today, whether it wins the squad round or not, but if we bet on Sam Houston State today and they don't cover and they don't win, I will buy a Sam Houston State jersey and wear it for a week on stream, looking like a fucking idiot. Yeah, he's a moose shit coach. He's a terrible coach. Get Ron Rivera out of here. I'm not even saying to hand the keys over to Bahenemy yet. All I'm saying is this is not our head coach. This is not a winner. This is not our guy. Listen up. All right, take a little mental screenshot of this one. Boop. Give me the Ravens laying 3. Come on, it's got to be Baltimore must play here. They're winning this game big. It's going to be an under game. They're going to be running the shit out of the ball, and they're going to win this game by 5+, maybe 10+. I mean, if you have to listen to Jameis Winston for advice on the sidelines during a game, that's probably when you got to hang him up and maybe go with a different game plan here, Javon, because if he's seeing something that Derek Carr and the coach aren't, that's an issue to me.
That's just Jimmy Butler activities now. I just don't know if I can click a square and just say, you know what? I'm going to go to the grave with Jimmy Butler today when I see that cut, that profile.
I'm watching them rock, damn. Brand new bag with Pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to savor it.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 351 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, who apparently people think it's his birthday today. Can you confirm that it's not even close to your birthday?
I don't know how that came about. We still got literally half a year just about until that point. So
it might be your half birthday.
Or I guess not half.
Okay.
A little shorter than half. I can't do math, but February.
People are talking. And people are talking a lot about this too, Javon. And we're going to get to that with plenty of time today. Loaded college basketball slate. I'm lit up, Javon. Maybe the best slate we've had so far this season. I'm stoked. We're going to go over it. We're going to spend plenty of time, chat, on the college basketball slate today. We'll go over W recaps here in a second. We're going to bitch about Jordan Poole, or at least I am for a minute. We're going to talk college football playoffs, Javon. We'll go over the college basketball loaded slate. There's also Maction. We cannot forget about the Maction either. And maybe if we have time, we'll craft up a little A team and B team. Should be some college squares we like today, maybe some football and hockey as well. And Javon, I know you probably got to play on the ice that you're going to need to get the people towards the end of the show because the ice pays. It simply does. The ice pays. Let's go ahead and run it. Goots, let's do the squad ride here. Recap W's. Oilers, ML last night. It was sweaty early. Javon, I think they were down 1-0. But then they tied it up pretty quickly, and it was all Oilers from there. I think they ended up winning, 3-1 or 4-1? I kind of stopped paying attention when they were absolutely mucking them. Great call, great play, Javon. W Squad Ride chat. I hope you tailed responsibly for a unit, at least, like you should do every day with the Squad Ride. And then, Javon, you went 2 for 3 on your best bets. We'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, well, but holy shit. I don't know if you saw the Mizzou game, end of that one. They were up 21 with 10 seconds left. They had the ball. They threw it away to the half court. And what do you know, with 6 seconds left, you get an and one layup on the other end. So I was absolute piss in that one. But we take those. Houston, you said Kelvin Sampson yesterday needs his brain scanned. I agree. It's I watched a majority of that game and holy shit. That was obviously they were playing Stetson, but the way they defended that entire game, there was one open look for Stetson the entire game. And they hit those. It was
unbelievable.
That was a masterclass.
Masterclass. Somebody check on Sampson's brain. Who hurt him as a young kid? Because he is evil in his mind and his defense. I mean, it's like wizardry. Honestly, it's impressive to watch, Javon. And the intro for BTL today reminded me to let chat know the Sam Houston State jersey. It's en route, folks. It's looking like Saturday, November 18th. It's coming in hot. Got a little update here, W. So I guess I'll be rocking that on next week on BTL. I cannot wait to wear that jersey for 5 days in a row, Javon. Might be the ugliest jersey ever. People are talking.
Yeah.
Just might be. W's. All right. I want to talk about the Bills here for a second. Interesting game last night. I don't know how it didn't go over. Pretty blown about that still, but we move. The Broncos took care of business, though, and actually won outright. I don't really know how they didn't score more points than they did. I feel like they got the ball on the 40 or the 50 every single drive, but we take a cover there and we move. But Javon, some changes being made up there in Buffalo after that loss last night. Kind of expected. I don't know if you watched SVP afterwards or saw the interview with the coach when the media was asking him if there was any changes, on the way, and he kind of addressed it. He really kind of tipped his hand, and his comments and his responses were pretty much yeah, there's changes coming. Well, here's the change. Ken Dorsey, who has been roasted for the last, 2 months. I think he's kind of taken over that Matt Canada roasting from Pittsburgh that we haven't heard much in a while. And he's gone. He's out of here. And Javon, we were up there a couple weeks ago, and what did every single person in Buffalo tell us? What was the problem?
Everybody wanted his head on a steak.
Literally. Angry mob time. Yeah. It was nuts, but it looks like the people got what they wanted. Clearly did not work there with Ken Dorsey in that offense. Let's see what they can do. We've got a hype train as well, Javon. Let's go. Hype train. And, at least Ken Dorsey left us with this moment where he went absolutely apeshit up there in the booth like a lunatic.
Yeah, it's probably on one of the plays he schemes up perfectly for a wide-open walk-in touchdown, and Josh Allen throws it right to the other team.
Wow. So you think it might not all be Ken Dorsey's fault. You're pinning it a little bit more on J.A. Okay.
I just don't understand how last night was the final straw. Last night, I'm not going to say the play calling was fantastic, but did he make half the dog shit throws that Josh Allen had that entire game. Did he make James Cook fumble twice? Really should have been. And then Josh Allen on the handoff too. Like, I really don't understand. It was a bad loss, very obviously, but that's not the loss you can pin on Ken Dorsey.
Okay. Well, maybe they're trying to pin, the blame on someone else and not all on Josh Allen, who is starting to get roasted. He's been a pick machine, turnover machine. We saw all the graphics during the game last night. The guy's got the most touchdowns, but the most turnovers in the last 6 years or so since he's been the starting QB. And love to see Tim Settle getting involved here, the Hokie, signing the Ken Dorsey get fired sign. Love to see it.
Hilarious.
W's. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Josh Allen is the problem. He's obviously not looking sharp. Maybe it's the Madden curse. Maybe just the Bills are cursed. I tweeted that last night, and then somebody responded and said the field was actually built on an old Indian burial ground. So maybe there is some weird curses going on. We know that organization has gone to the Super Bowl, Javon, 5 times, and they haven't won a single one. I think they went 4 years in a row, and they lost every single one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Maybe there is some weird curse going on because you look at the talent on this team. You look at how good and effective they were early on in Josh Allen's career. I feel like maybe they peaked and they've got to figure something out. Maybe Wingnuts is the problem. Chiote, you could be right. Maybe the players are grubbing a little bit too much, although we know Josh Allen would probably be going to Barbell. And also, chat, we'll be dropping a Wingnuts versus Barbell review on the YouTube shorts this week, so stay posted for that. Okay, chat? Wingnuts versus Barbell. Might be a little closer than you guys think. Check that one out when it drops. All right? Javon. Is it Josh Allen's fault? Is he not a top 5 QB in the NFL? I've seen that be a topic of conversation recently. Is he not that guy right now? Is he turning the ball over too much?
I mean, I don't know how you could argue otherwise. I think at some point we have to say, the amount of times that we hear, Josh Allen's a gunslinger, which is a scapegoat and an excuse for him throwing all these interceptions, which I guess everybody now is kind of finally catching up to and blaming it on him. You got to cut the losses at some point. You got to say Josh Allen just has to be better, and he's a big problem with this offense. Yes, the play calling is not creative. It's not conducive to a good offense. We'll see if that's really the issue in the next couple of weeks. It definitely was part of it, but Josh Allen sucks. It's time to face the facts. He is not a good quarterback right now.
Wow. Seems like a guy we put in the right category for the QB years yesterday.
You know what watching Josh Allen reminds me a lot of right now as a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It reminds me of seeing a lot of Jameis Winston ball. The way he is just so unpredictable right now and leading the league in interceptions. It is reminding me a lot of what we were seeing with Jameis. Obviously not as unpredictable. I don't think the ceiling is as high for gunslinger activity, but it's giving me flashbacks.
We're not saying, or Javon's not saying that, they're equally as good of players. Josh Allen's still a little bit better than he was down there, but very similar vibes, right? I remember Jameis had a season down there once where he led the league in picks, and I think he was leading the league in touchdowns or passing yards or something like that too.
Yeah.
We're seeing it right now.
The 30-30 season. I was literally
30-30 season, yes. When you literally couldn't see, right?
I was talking about that with Big Dave on the way back from our trip, and I was literally at the game. It was literally, you could feel it in the stadium because he had 30-29, and it was against the Falcons, I believe, and they're going into overtime. The Bucs got the ball first, and the entire stadium just knew exactly what was coming. And it was instantly pick six on the second play of overtime to complete the season in the last play of the season. So, I mean, right now with Josh Allen, the way he's turning the ball over, it seems very, very similar.
Okay, and that is probably not the best comp you want to be having if you want to be winning the Super Bowl, respectfully. As much as we love Jameis and all those videos of him being a freak, I don't know if that's the comp that Josh Allen wants right now, respectfully.
Yeah.
We've got sub-bangs galore. We got Lembong coming in hot. We do it all for you, Lembong. Please do not forget that. We got Ron Mux Clam coming in hot. Death Taxes and Ron Mux Clam giving out a sub-bang to the community. Can we get some W's, Lembong, and W's, Ron, in chat, please? These guys are giving out subs literally every single day. We got DeGen coming in, resubbing. W's, love to see that. We got Don't Fade 86 coming in hot with a subby. W's, TJ Mixer coming in, sub-banging. 17 fucking months. Appreciate BTL. I appreciate you, TJ Mixer. Thanks for joining. Appreciate the support. Chat, let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Let's talk about the Bills' chances here, because it seems like this is a pretty popular narrative over the last 24 hours on social media, is the Bills, stick a fork in them, they're through. You heard all the guys on ESPN last night talk about it. They said the Bills are done. We've seen the schedules floating around for Buffalo, Javon, talking about how tough of a schedule they have going forward, and they already used their cupcake schedule, and they're only 5-5, and they're fucked. Well, I'll tell you guys what. This is exactly what I want to buy low on the Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia here. I think this team can go on the road and get some wins, and their toughest games are at home on the rest of their schedule. And Javon, they're sitting at plus 200 right now to make the playoffs. It's not going to be easy. We'll go back and take a look here at the standings real quick, but I would like to sprinkle maybe a half U, maybe just a full U and say, fuck it, on the Buffalo Bills to continue to make the playoffs like they keep doing, even though they're at the lowest point they've been at in years right now, Javon. The Bengals don't look too sharp right now. I'm not scared of them. The Colts I'm not scared of. Houston's going to fall off. Pittsburgh, I wouldn't be surprised if they get some L's and end up closer to 500, and maybe the Bills sneak past them somehow. I still think this team has plenty of life, and I think people are writing the Bills off after seeing Josh Allen have a couple bad games in a row, and yes, he's not playing well. Yes, he's throwing too many picks, but the guy is still, number one fantasy football QB. The guy still makes plays happen, and if their defense can come back and get healthy, Javon, towards the end of the season, that's how we know this team wins. That's how we know McDermott wants his team to win, with that defense, with those clamps, and then let Josh Allen cook as well. But I still believe in this team, and I think at plus 200s, I'm going to buy low when everybody's roasting the Bills and selling them and hopping off the Bills Mafia train, Javon. I want in.
Yeah, I don't know that I do. I would be gladly willing to back them, I think, next week in the spot to kind of buy all that narrative and bad news because they're going to be playing the Jets, who very obviously suck. So I think that could be a big get-right spot for them first week without Ken Dorsey. But I don't know if I can see them taking advantage of this really tough schedule, especially when they have to go on the road to the two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year and are mashing up themselves this week. So that's what I find pretty tough. And then also the fact that a couple of these teams that are sitting right above them, like the Texans, absolutely cake schedule. The Browns, not very difficult of a schedule. The Steelers would be a little challenging, but they have a game up. The Bengals, I think, are going to continue to get rolling here and have plenty of chances against the end of their schedule. So that's the issue with me. And I know we'll see if they can get a little healthier come the end of the season, which a lot of the injuries that they have are kind of not looking like it's going to be that way. But I don't know if I can get in until they win one of those two games on the road, the big ones.
Okay. Let's go through their schedule briefly, because it's tweets like this, Javon, that I see where I just need to feel like I have to get involved. Because I see people talking and writing the Bills off like the season's already over while I even play the games. And that's just making me want to hop in and back this team at their lowest point, who is going to be angry to come out and prove to the world that they're still the Bills and they still should be one of the best teams in football. But we'll see if they can actually do it on the field. We really haven't seen it yet this season. As POD Pete drops a 5U whale. Let's go, POD Pete.
Let's go.
W's. People sleep on POD Pete's NFL plays recently too, Javon. He has been on fuego in the NFL. Maybe he's a football guy. People are starting to talk. And W's. Yeah, just football. And also, I think he went to Walker Bueller's golf tournament yesterday and got a picture with him and hung out with him. So that's pretty cool. W's, Pete. Appreciate you coming in. Love to see it. Always winning, and winning in the NFL as well right now. All right, Javon. They play the Jets coming up. That's a win. Don't even need to talk about that one anymore. 6-5. Then they go and play the Eagles on the road. That's going to be tough, Javon, but how many games are the Eagles going to sneak by and win when they probably shouldn't? How lucky are the Eagles going to be this season? How many times is Jalen Hurts going to throw a pick and the Eagles still end up winning by a handful of points and it ends up not biting them in the ass? It has to at some point. Maybe the Bills with something to prove and a chip on their shoulder, on a little revenge legacy tour here when everybody wrote them off, could be the team that hands them an out at home when nobody expects it. We know Philly has given up some bad L's at home recently over the years. Cough, cough, the Manders. Maybe the Bills will come in there and be the more motivated team. The Eagles will probably be 9-1 at that point, fat, happy, and complacent at the top of the division. I wouldn't mind taking the Bills there. I'll tell you right now, I'll be on the Bills' points in that game. But we'll call it a loss.
Yeah.
We'll call it a loss.
I think it's a loss, and I think if you want to get in on the Bills as a playoff feature, you do it after that game. Because then it's still a very tough game in Kansas City, obviously, but they're coming off of a bye in that situation where the Chiefs are going to Green Bay the week before on Sunday Night Football. So that could be the spot if you're looking for the very unpredictable road upset that you hop in on, I guess, the Bills to get more value. Because I think think they're obviously beating the Jets, and then I don't think they're going to have a great time in Philly. Still don't think they're going to have a great time in Kansas City, but if you're looking for something that's kind of off the wall for them to prove everybody wrong, that might be the spot, I think.
I don't understand why people think the Eagles have looked good this season. I know their record looks good. I know they have all the pieces. I know they were good last season. I know they keep winning. But I've watched them play almost every game this season, Javon, and I have not been impressed one bit. Maybe I am biased, but my eyes have told me that this team has taken a step back this season. And I don't think I could disagree with anybody or agree with anybody in chat who says anything differently. This team has taken a step back this year. They do not look as sharp. Jalen Hurts does not look as sharp. You cannot tell me differently. You can't. He does.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they keep finding ways to win now against pretty shitty teams. So, I mean, we're going to find out in the next 4 weeks. That'll be the time that they can formulate or dissipate the narrative. So we'll find out.
Okay. And yeah, maybe he's just been hurt this whole time. That is true. He's definitely been a little banged up the last couple of weeks. You can tell when he runs. I do think they're going to win there at Kansas City and shock the world. And then I have no qualms betting the Buffalo Bills against Mike McCarthy at home and the Cowboys there, who will probably be fat, happy, and complacent at that point too. And then they play the Chargers. That'll be a tough game, but that'll be a win. They'll get that done. Early game there. Then they play the Pats. Everyone on Twitter right now is bugging about that game at the end of the season. Why? Why? What have you guys seen out of the Pats this season that's going to make that game sketchy besides Bill Belichick being the coach? Unless he's putting on the cleats and going out there. I know the last time I said that analogy did not work out too well. Unless he's going out there and putting cleats on and playing, it's not going to fucking matter. The Bills are going to end the season on fire. I'm going to take them plus 200 to make the playoffs. Maybe it's a better opportunity to wait until they lose that game against the Eagles. But me personally, I think they win that game against the Eagles. So I'm going to lock it in now. Maybe I'll double it after they lose that game, and we'll go from there. But I'm not giving up on the Bills just yet, chat. I think they're still going to make the playoffs, and I think at plus 200, that's some decent value there to back an underrated team at the floor. You're buying low. I like that. All right? Yeah, show the slip. I will show it. I will show the slip. All right? Dubs, Javon, let's keep moving and grooving here. PLL Cities dropped today. People forget.
They do. Yeah.
Let's fucking go. I'm rocking your Archer's hat right now, Javon.
There you go.
Chat, 2 p.m. Eastern, literally in a little bit over an hour on ESPN. I need everybody to turn it on in an hour and watch where these PLL teams are dropping. Where are we dropping, boys? 8 teams, 8 cities for the PLL. Maybe you guys will get blessed and get a team in your city. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do because I'm worried that the Redwoods are not going to be an East Coast team, and they're my squad. They have been since 2018. So I'm nervous as heck. I don't know shit. Nobody's telling me anything. I wish I did. But 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, Paul Rabel is going to let the world know where the PLL is heading. Very curious to see where these teams reside. Let's see where your Archers end up, Javon. I have no fucking clue where they're going to end up. No idea.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I've heard some rumors of Philly. They might be the Philly team. Is that true?
Damn, I don't know. I've seen rumors for just about everything. I've heard Water Dogs maybe to Philly, but again, guys, we don't know shit. We will have to see here in 1 hour. Maybe some rebrands for some teams too. Rumor has it there might be some new team names or some new rebrandings, but cannot confirm that either, chat. We'll see in about an hour on ESPN. W's. The Philly Archers would be hard. Yeah, it would. But I'll tell you what, I feel like the Water Dogs are meant to be in Philly. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
The Annapolis Archers has a nice ring to it, though, in Maryland.
That could be far.
Yeah. People are also saying that maybe the gray parts of this chart could be like hints as to where they're going to put the teams. I don't know. There's like fucking 12 states with gray on it. I'm not going to dig in that much. I'm not a fucking detective. I put all my Sherlock Holmes hat earlier.
West Virginia and Louisiana are in gray, so I would.
Yeah, that ain't fucking happening.
No. Yeah.
The Anne Arundel Archers, sure, Woozy. That's a Maryland guy. W's. Chad, make sure you tune in. All right. Very, very excited to see where these teams end up at 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Let's see what Paul Rabel's got to say. I've got something to say, not about the PLL right now, Javon, but about the Wizards. Dudes, run that shit, man. I got to get pissed. Chat, I don't know if there is a team that is run worse than the Washington Wizards at this point. So now that Dan Schneider is out and about, the Wizards are an absolute clown show. You might as well rename them the fucking Circus Soleil. Javon, they were up 16 points last night with 6 minutes left. I'm watching them on one of my TVs, rooting for my local team, and I'm watching them blow this fucking lead, just melting it away. They didn't score a field goal for the rest of the game, Javon. I understand that Wes Unseld Jr., his dad was the greatest player ever in the Wizards organization, but this dude should have been fired months ago. Months ago. But that's not what I'm going to bitch about today. I'm not going to bitch about him. I'm going to bitch about Jordan Poole, who I feel like a lot of people in chat could probably get on board here with me. The Poole party. Yeah, it's been a great fucking party so far this year. He stinks. This guy's point square is down to 14.5 now, Javon. He's supposed to be the guy. And last night, he's getting roasted because someone called him not fucking paying attention at all in the huddle. Players are calling him out. Coaches are calling him out. He's talking to some dude on the bench on the side. He's not fucking looking at the play they're drawing up at the end of the game to potentially try to win and save them from not blowing a 16-point lead with 6 minutes left, Javon. And then he goes back. He's trying to, like, catch the play call at the end. He's, like, looking over his shoulder like, oh, shit, what was that? I missed it. I was talking to my buddy the whole time. Jordan Poole is the least fucking serious basketball player I have ever seen in my entire life. He stinks. The experiment's already dead, and it's been 3 weeks. I'm out on this kid. He can't make a three to save his life. There's a reason why Draymond Green punched him in the face. Now I know. Now I know.
It all makes sense now.
It all makes sense now. I am on Team Draymond. Guys, Jordan Poole stinks. He has the keys. He can shoot as many times as he wants a game. And we don't play defense, which means we're going to have plenty of opportunities to score. It's not like the teams we're playing against are going to be clamping up when they've already got 150 points. It's a perfect opportunity for a guy like Jordan Poole to come in for the first time in his career and play on a team where he's the number one guy. And he even said it in that huddle, Javon. He said, I'm the guy. I'm going to win this shit. And then what does he go out there to do? Zip. Zilch. Nothing. Nada. He is fucking moose shit. And talk about a bad beat, chat. Whoever had the Wizards win over team total in this game, because I did see some tickets and people bitching on Twitter about it. I feel so bad for you. That is one of the worst beats I've ever seen in my life. Guys, Jordan Poole. If this is what the pool party is going to be over here, I don't want to go. I'll stay home. I don't want to go to the pool party, Javon. This kid stinks, and the Wizards are an absolute joke.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane. I mean, that team very obviously sucks, but the pool party, he's just such an unserious basketball player. It's insane. It's not getting any better.
No, and Devin, people are taking Wizards Evers because they hit. They do hit. They don't play a lick of defense. But not last night, man. Brutal beat for whoever had that team total over. It's time to fire coach. Can we just go around and fire all the coaches? Can we fire Davey Martinez, Ron Rivera, fucking Wes Unseld Jr., and everybody? Who else? We need a Caps new coach? Let's just fire him and make it a four-piece. Who gives a hoot?
Put a shuffle and put Ron Rivera with the Wizards.
I mean, you could literally switch Ron Rivera to be the Wizards head coach and put Wes Unseld with a headset on and his arms crossed, and you get the same result. You would get the same result. Yeah, nothing would change. And that's what's sad. It really is. Chat, I hope you stop betting on Jordan Poole because this kid stinks and he's not fucking hitting his point square or points prop anymore this season. This dude's new shit. Terrible. Please stop betting on him. He stinks. Go ahead and kill the Prize Picks season-long entry, Javon. Terrible.
Yeah, kill it. Always Kuz.
I got no problems with Kuz. I got no
Kuz
problems.
hooping.
Kuz a beast. Yep. All right, Javon. Let's talk about some college football playoffs here real quick, and then we're going to hop into this absolutely loaded college basketball slate. So many games we got to go over. I'm fucking lit up. Wow, JMU up there. Respect. As they should. They're undefeated still. They would probably still smack VT this season. Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State, Javon. I feel like those teams are, at least right now, pretty fucking locked in to the college football playoffs. They're all undefeated, right? So is Florida State. But there's some people who have different opinions about who should be in the four-hole right now. Is it Florida State? Is it, undefeated Washington? Is it one-loss Oregon, Texas, or Bama? Those teams are lurking, Javon. They're right there just waiting for one of these teams to fuck up, chomping at the bit. We kind of know those top three teams are in there, at least until they lose. Right, Javon? Do you agree with that?
Of course.
Okay. What are you thinking right now for the 4 seed? I want to know your guess. If the season ended right now, who's in? Who you want to be in, and who you think is going to be in at the end of the year. That's what I want to know.
Well, so if the season ended right now, it would have to be FSU because they're undefeated despite playing their soft schedule. And anybody who actually watches the game instead of box score watches can probably tell that teams below them are a little better, I would say. My guess at the end of the season would probably have to be Oregon. I think they're the most deserving team in there. I don't think Alabama, as much as I love Alabama, and I think you can make a case for them being the most talented between FSU, Washington, Oregon, and themselves at this point, I don't think they're going to beat Georgia. That seems to be a very popular take that they're going to beat Georgia. And they just opened the line, I believe, yesterday, and it's already 3 up to 4, which I thought was pretty interesting. I've been eyeing those. So I don't think they're beating Georgia in the SEC championship. And I do think Washington this week, when they're underdogs and surely free money in Corvallis, I think they go down too. So I think Oregon, in my eyes right now, is the most complete team and the best setup to kind of take advantage of that. And Bo Nix is also, in all likelihood, going to be the Heisman. So give me the Ducks right now to be the 4 spot.
Yep. 2 words, late night beef. Okay. I mean, that line is just absolutely ridiculous, Javon. I know you've already been talking about it, foaming at the mouth, waiting for that game on Saturday. Guys, how about the beef being a late-night fave against Washington this week, undefeated? How about them apples? That might be a 5U Johnson right there.
Might be.
Might not have a choice, okay? The schedules remaining for these teams, Javon, I know you probably have all these fucking things memorized. I know Georgia has their toughest game coming up against Tennessee on the road, I believe. But after that, I mean, it's a cakewalk. And Tennessee, honestly, fucking stinks. So if that's their toughest game, they should be good to go. What about Michigan and Ohio State, though? How are the rest of their schedules looking? And I'm happy to pull it up as well. But do they have any weird games remaining that are sketching you out a little bit? Or are those teams also pretty much locked in?
Just each other. That's the thing. They play each other in 2 weeks. Yeah, so that's the big decider there. And you have one of them who's going to be in and then subsequently make the Big Ten championship, which they also should win because they're probably going to be playing Iowa. I think it's locked in or pretty close to locked in there. So, yeah, that game is going to decide in all likelihood who gets the 2 spots. If Georgia falls, I guess maybe who gets the 1 spot. But, yeah, that's going to be the biggest game easily of the college football playoff decision-making, whatever you want to call it. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah, ASIM, an 18 playoff would be fucking elite this season if we could somehow get Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Texas, and Bama. That would be the greatest sporting event to watch ever in the history of the world. But we're not going to get it. We're only getting 4 teams this year, guys. But you know what? Can't be complaining. It's still going to be absolutely electric. Looks like people voted on who they think is going to be the 4 seed here. Who should claim the 4th spot as your one final team? The chat voted for Washington, who barely snuck out Florida State. Interesting. Not really surprised there. A good sign for Oregon here, sneaking under the radar. And looks like not too many people believe in Texas, probably for good reason. The W's for Lauren. Looks like Quinn Ewers is coming back next year, so Texas will be good again next season. That's good for her. Quinn Ewers, hey, he's still a top level, college QB. He's still an above average QB in college.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see next year when he plays against SEC defenses. Good luck with that.
This right here is a conversation.
I know. It's
that is
to become
a conversation.
Too much of a conversation.
Yeah. Javon, thoughts? I know Big Dave has been talking a lot about Bama and how he's already seen the script and how they're just going to win out, run the table, and sneak in. I mean, if they win out, they will probably be in. I'm sure the committee is absolutely just waiting to put them back in the fucking playoffs.
Oh,
but it's not going to happen.
It should, though.
Yeah. You don't see it happening, though. Maybe it's a little bit too public of an angle, Javon, and I'm with you. I haven't seen any real Georgia love so far, and it's not like Georgia's been playing unbelievably so far this season.
I mean, the fact that we'll see where it moves. Obviously, we're 2-3 weeks out at this point, but that opener at 3, line sitting now at 4 for that championship game is a little wild to me. I was expecting 1.5, 2, maybe, with it being a neutral site game. I think we saw that a couple of years back when they beat them the first time, and both got in as a result of that. So I was shocked to see that line. So with as public as the narratives that's starting to be, if that line stays where it is, where my money's going to be at.
That is some respect on Georgia right there with that line. I'll tell you that much. Not betting Bama with that line. I'm with you. All right, chats. I think we're all pretty much on the same page.
One more thing. Did you see that Quinn Ewers might be staying? It's like a 90% chance he stays. Archie Manning transfer.
don't know if Archie Manning's going anywhere, man. I also don't know how ready he is. I feel like I saw some clips of him in the spring game and just overall not hearing the best things about him being ready for next season, but it's still Archie Manning Jr. So he wants to fucking play. If he wants to transfer, he will.
I could see some coach convincing him that he's going to play and he's going to transfer.
You think so?
Brian Kelly, possibly.
Javon, thoughts on maybe a little Arch Manning transfer piece?
I mean, that would be interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see him stay with the family and go to either Oxford or Tennessee.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
I don't know what their situation is with like Spencer Sanders and everybody back there, if he can somehow finagle another year, because I've seen it. It's been done, but
Notre Dame?
Could be. He's not a Notre Dame quarterback, though.
No, he's not at all.
I don't know.
No, he's not. He's not at all. But, I mean, they do just get a guy, Sam Hartman, in the portal, so maybe they are looking for a new QB. Who knows?
They definitely are looking. Yeah, that's not I don't think that's a secret, but will they go the Arch Manning route? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ohio State. Interesting option.
That could be an interesting one. Yeah.
All right, chat. Enough talking about where the hell Archie Manning's going. Let's talk about some college basketball, Javon. Too many good games today to let these get swept under the rug. All right, we've got 5 unbelievable games that we can talk about, and then a bunch of other mid-majors that we definitely need to get nasty and find the people winners in. We can start it out with Wisconsin and Providence, Mikey's team. Javon, I think Providence opened up a small favorite in this game, actually, initially, before we saw Wisconsin move to a favorite here on the roads. We saw Wisconsin just take a loss against, I believe, Tennessee at home in their last game. They kind of got spanked, although they hung around and ended up only losing by 10, but they really did not look great in that spot. Providence, on the other hand, I mean, yeah, they covered against Columbia in their first game. Great. Don't really care. They barely beat a Milwaukee team by 10, did not cover in their last matchup here at home. Now they get their 3rd home game in a row against a Wisconsin team who's a veteran squad coming in, very experienced, and they've got some size. Maybe they give Providence some fits here. Javon, I'm leaning Wisconsin. I don't know if I'm going to get to the counter yet, but definitely leading the Badgers here on the road, moving from a dog to a favorite in the spot.
I agree. And I think the difference here is Wisconsin, I know their defense hasn't looked fantastic to start the season, not the same Wisconsin defense that we're used to, but still turning teams over. In Providence, very early in the season, they've looked really, really sloppy with the ball. So, like, if they're playing against this Wisconsin defense, and they're doing that due to the fact that they're really haven't had time to gel. They got guys who haven't played massive minutes at really other places, maybe except Josh Duro and then a guard or two. It's going to be a problem. That's going to be a serious problem. So this is a game where I think Wisconsin's defense, even though they're not at home, very obviously in the situation where they're better, they lock in and they win this game. Seeing them dog to fave, we don't see that many times with Providence, I guess, on the opposite side there. So I'd be willing with off a tough loss to go with the Badgers to lock in on defense here.
Okay. Badgers are a spec public. They're getting a little bit more than 50% of bets, and they're getting 60% of handle right now on the ML and the Green Book, but not enough, public money where it's going to scare me off yet. But definitely, I guess, not surprised. I mean, it is big name Wisconsin against Providence, but God, Providence has been such a wagon recently. Still leaning Badgers, though. It's got to be the play. And, Odura, let's see if he can hold it down against some legitimate big man here. He was a stud at George Mason for a couple of years, Javon. I know we did that on him for a couple seasons. Beast in the paint in the mid-majors. Yeah, there's our guy, Odura, sure. But let's see how he can handle Wall down there in the paint. And they've got some other big men, too. It might be trouble for Odura tonight.
It's probably usually it's so overwhelming with Providence because they have Oduro and then obviously Bryce Hopkins who can space the floor, but they're also two massive guys to have in the interior. I mean, Wall's not the biggest. Crowell's not the biggest, but this is one of the few teams that I think matches up pretty well with how they're going to defend both of those guys because they're versatile and they can play inside. So they're not going to say they're going to clamp for both of them, but it's a really tough matchup. So the guards are really going to have to shine in this one. And if they're turning the ball over, like I was talking about against this defense, good luck.
Good freaking luck. Maybe we get a Wisconsin defensive masterclass for the first time this season. It's on the way, Javon. It's coming. We know it is. We know their defense is better. And with that total moving down 4 points, maybe it'll be today. All right, Wisconsin, we need their defense to clamp up here a little bit and get a big-time win on the road. I'm in. Let's go ahead and talk about some Michigan State and Duke action. My goodness. We've heard people talking about this game and pitching plays in this game last week on the Surge stream. People circling this one after Duke lost pretty badly on their home floor, I would say, against Arizona. Maybe not the score, but I feel like Arizona kind of dominated them in that matchup and got a big-time win. Everybody circled Duke immediately after that game and said, I'm going to bet them in a bounce-back spot against Michigan State. And what's the one line that we've been hearing for the past week about Michigan State, Javon? It's been the three-pointers, right? This team has only made 2 3-pointers out of the million they've shot this season, and they're never going to make another one again, and they actually shoot with their arms cut off from the three-point arc. That's what people make it sound like. That's what they make it seem like. I don't get it. This Michigan State team is going to bounce back. I'm not saying they're the Golden State Warriors, but I am saying that this team is obviously better, and they have capable guards like Hogarth and Walker who can shoot the rock way better than they have been, and also a bunch of guys up on prize picks for threes on Michigan State, which is very interesting after they haven't hit shit all season, okay? You're going to see Michigan State and their offense uptick a little bit here, especially from behind the three-point arc, and you're going to see them get a cover here on the roads. Duke is getting absolutely pummeled with bets, and that spread has moved from -2.5 to -4. Very rare time I will be fading the movement here on the line. I'm still going to be back in Michigan State, Sparty +4 on the roads. I do think they went outright, but I think this is going to be overall a more lower scoring, milking the whole clock, a typical Duke versus Michigan State slugfest a little bit. The game will find a way to go under. Michigan State will hit some threes for once for the first time this season and shock the world. And they probably went outright, but I'm going to grab the points at +4 right now against Duke on the road.
Yeah, gladly. And I mean, I think, like our man's saying here, the physicality is probably going to be the difference for Michigan State. They're going to enforce their will in this game, first of all, through that. But I do think you're going to start to see some positive regression from their shooting against, again, bigger guards or with bigger guards against the smaller Duke team, smaller Duke backcourt at the very least. So I like Michigan State in the spot. I generally like taking the dogs in the Champions Classic, regardless of the situation or teams anyway, because if you take one, they're usually profitable because one of them wins. But in this game specifically, I do like Michigan State, and seeing the prize picks board with those guys up for threes when Michigan State is 2 for 31 from 3 on the season is certainly interesting. I think that's probably as close to a script as you can get.
ASIM, there is no way
Probably
that he has a max bet on Michigan State.
Every single game they play.
Can somebody actually confirm that? I need to know the truth there. Okay. I don't care, though. Give me the points. Yeah, Javon, like you said, Champions Classic. Give me the points. Give me Sparty.
This is neutral court. It's in Chicago, which weirdly, like, if you're a home team or just a team shooting in general, you want your own home backcourt. That's where you shoot the best. But for a team who's struggling, a neutral court and a change of scenery might be
maybe exactly that's what Michigan State needs to get out of their fucking arena where they're throwing up bricks in there the last couple games. I'm with you. Interesting angle. Okay. Duke is free now. I bets. Let's see the slip money roll up. Let's see it. All right, W's. Let's go to the second game of this contest, Javon. We've got Kansas and Kentucky playing a little bit later, also in Chicago, I believe, in the Champions Classic here. This is going to be an insane game. We've seen the spread move up to 7. I'm curious to see if Kentucky's going to have the bodies to even be able to compete and keep up with Hunter Dickinson in this spot, Javon. It's going to be tough. I know Kentucky has a couple of their big men hurt. Very curious to see if they're going to be able to compete and keep up with big man Hunter Dickinson in the paint. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. They just don't have the bodies. But I'm also not really trying or in the mood to lay 7 points with Kansas here in a very square spot, in my opinion. Javon, what are your thoughts on Kansas versus Kentucky, the battle of the Blue Bloods?
Yeah, I guess I would have to lean Kentucky in this one too. Again, not just for the sake of taking the dogs, but yes, Hunter Dickinson should have a field day in this matchup against a team who doesn't have the bodies, like you were saying, to keep up with them. But other than that, my problem with this Kansas team, at least early in the year, because they haven't been able to show it yet, I don't know where the scoring is coming from with this team. They have a lot of guys like DeJuan Harris, Kevin McCullough, who can have, splash games where they go out and drop 20. I think McCullough's done that once this season already. DeJuan Harris, even if you talk about what they do in the front court too, they're guys that can have little splashes of games, but they're defensive guys, at heart. So this team is going to be very good on defense for the majority of the season because of the continuity they have back. But as far as scoring and having a reliable option, if Hunter Dickinson is not on today and can't be that guy, it's going to get interesting. even because I just with this team, I worry about that in the long term. And in this game, on a neutral court with a weird game that nobody really thinks Kentucky has a shot in, might get weird. So I have to lean Kentucky with the points. I don't want to lay 7 with Kansas.
Gun to my head, I'm also betting Kentucky with the points, but I hate it. The only reason I'm saying that is because I know that Kansas is a no shit wager and it's just too square and easy. But the way that college basketball has been going this season, maybe that is the play. Straight up. Yeah. We've seen this total drop 3 points, Javon, from the 150 opener, and there's 90% of bets in handle on this over, so the game will find a way to sneak under, in my opinion here. Wouldn't mind betting that, right? And who the hell is betting the under in Kansas versus Kentucky? The only people watching those games are the fans of those teams and people who want to bet the square over. So give me that under in Kansas, Kentucky. I don't know how the heck Kentucky's going to compete, but I do know that one of their big men is coming off the concussion protocol, so they will have one big body to go against Hunter Dickinson in this spot. So that could be the difference, because if they didn't have him coming back from a concussion, they would have literally 0 centers active on the roster tonight, and that would probably just be a square angle back in Dickinson, maybe PRA on Prize Picks, and then maybe they end up covering. But don't know if I'm going to get to the counter in this game, but definitely one of the better games of the night. Let's go to Marquette in Illinois. This is a good one, Javon. People are probably wondering why the heck is Illinois a favorite in the spot against Marquette, who might have the most complete team in college basketball this season, and after they were an absolute cash cow last year. Well, because Tyler Kolek is a game-time decision. We don't know if he's playing yet. And I'll tell you what, Javon, by the way that line's moving, I'm thinking he might not play. Maybe the books know something we don't, which is pretty typical and standard, and that's probably the mindset we should be having in sports bettors chats. Got to always expect the sports books to know something we don't. And with that line moving, I'm assuming they're not public. I would be very, very surprised if I search right now and I see that Marquette is public. There's no way they are. It's got to be the injury news. But either way, Javon, let's say they don't have Kolek in this spot. Are you still thinking about laying it with Illinois here, the 20th ranked team or so, who's a favorite against Marquette?
Yeah, no, definitely not doing that today, especially if the injury news. Injury news on the underdog side, plus probably the Twitter sharp play of the day is the recipe for me to not bet a game or not bet that side. But especially, I think there is a decided size advantage for Illinois in the interior, but I do think they're going to use their transition game to kind of eliminate that or make that a little less of a problem than it should be in this game. So, I think you're going to get points, whether it's Kolek or not. Kolek would significantly help the facilitation of that offense, obviously, but he's going to get out and run and make just things weird. And I do have it in the back of my head that I feel like every time there's a big game for one of these two teams in the non-conference, whatever you think is going to happen does not happen. So I guess the Illinois I'm here moment is what everybody's kind of banking on. So I'll take Marquette. I'll lean Marquette in this spot.
Okay. Going with Marquette. You don't want to buy that bad news, I guess, with Illinois here. If Kolek's out, I'm with you. And that spread is moving from +2 to +1, I guess you could say, from the initial opener. But it's still weird to see Illinois as a favorite here in this spot. But maybe it's not as weird if Kolek is out in this contest. Yeah. Probably not going to bet this game, at least until I figure out if he's playing.
I guess what you could say is a little weird is if Kolek is indeed out and that total continues to tick up. So that would catch my eye, certainly, because that would
make me lean Marquette even more, probably.
Yeah, I mean that, and the over itself, I would lean that regardless of Kolek's status. But yeah, that's probably what I'll be keeping an eye on more than anything in this game.
W's, capitalize Nick likes Marquette. Love to see it. Let's talk about Iowa and Creighton. My goodness, can Creighton shoot the heck out of the ball? They are impressive. I mean, it's like watching 5 giants on the court, all able to shoot threes, and they're all 7 feet, and they all can dunk. That's what it feels like, or at least it has when they've been playing these Mooship teams to start the season, Javon. But now Creighton's got a pretty decent contest. They've got fake sharp Iowa, who cost me so many goddamn coins last year and does not respect them and never wins or covers, coming into town. But is this the year that Iowa bounces back? I don't know. The spread did move from +8.5 for Iowa to +12 from the opener. Maybe that's from when people saw what Creighton did in their last contest, where they've looked like the frickin' 2015 Golden State Warriors with their shooting. They are unbelievable out there. Creighton is just an offensive fucking beast. Is it Creighton again, laying it with the points here with a 4-point move on the spread?
Yeah, it probably just could be. I mean, the thing with Creighton is not just that they can shoot the hell out of the ball, and this is a terrible Iowa defense, but this is also a team that you have like multiple guys who can facilitate the ball at literally any point. Like they have a legit like 3 guys you can put on the floor at once where you can say, okay, run this offense and generate an open look for this team. So against an Iowa team where you're going to very easily be able to find mismatches, like that's going to be a problem. So, I mean, like everybody is obsessed with this over. It's probably the most obvious one on the board. Another, I guess, very popular Twitter play, but I wouldn't be willing to go against that one because this team is going to put up points. And Iowa's probably going to do the same, but I would probably lean, Creighton minus the points, if anything, here.
Yep. I am with you on Creighton in the spot. Iowa does not respect coins, and with that spread moving 4 points towards Creighton and what we saw out of them and their shooters in that last contest, my goodness, I want to go back to the well and back them late night. And I'm hoping I see some Twitter Iowa slips throughout the night.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to see that.
You don't think so? Not after what Creighton's been doing.
Yeah, you're just going to see the over 50 times.
Yeah, the over is getting absolutely shit pummeled with bets. 86% of bets, 96% of handle on the green book.
Yeah, it's been soaring up, though. Yeah, it's like 5 points up from the opener.
It's moving, and it's grooving. As an Iowa fan, we got some big guys this time. Just need to play defense, but Iowa guards can shoot. You give Sanford the ball, and he gets hot. Might be game. Damn. All right. Let's talk about some games we like today and have plays in, Javon. I want to talk about Queens. We haven't really talked much about Queens so far this season, Javon. We know they were a wagon for us last year. Any OGs in chat remember cashing early in the season last year on Queens, a little wagon in their first season up in D1 with Kenny Dye running the point. Well, they might not have Kenny Dye, but this team still has some magic, and they run extremely fast tempo. Queens does. This team runs the heck out of the floor, and they're playing against High Point tonight, Javon, another team that likes to push the pace, put up plenty of points and shots, and not really run the clock out one bit. When these guys played last season, we saw plenty of points in that game go over, and the total in this contest tonight is even higher than that total was last season. Both teams have hit overs only so far this season. It is what it is. I know that's a little bit square. I don't really give a shit because the splits are so sharp on this over. People are dropping absolute megalodon nuclear bombs on this over, Javon. 40% of handle, but 40% of bets, but 81% of handle on this over on the green book, Javon. People are fucking nuking it, and for good reason. The total's up from 164.5 to 167. I'm on this over. This is a game that easily could go into OT as well. Both these teams run the shit out of the ball. A lot of shots, a lot of possessions, a lot of points.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm down to back the Queens boys in this one. This is going to be just a ridiculous game, which I mean high points games pretty much to this point have been exactly the same both the times. So I would be willing to go to the grave with Queens doing the same thing today. This is like a very similar game to an over that I like later in the slate. Yeah, take me back to that game. Take me back.
I still remember it like it was yesterday, Javon. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Legendary.
Mm-hmm. You said this over reminds you of another over that you're taking tonight?
Does a little bit.
What do you got?
Colorado State.
Ooh, no Dalton Newton, no problem?
Yeah, no problem. And the thing that I like about this over specifically, I mean, it's going to be a track meet. Both these teams play with incredible pace, kind of similar to High Point and Queens, but they also have guys who can stretch the floor. So, like, you're going to have a decent amount of, like, 5-out sets with teams that want to slash and get to the rim. Like, Isaiah Stevens is going to have a field day because there's going to be nobody with any sort of force in the paint. He's going to be able to facilitate the offense at will. And on the other side, you have guys that can go and get you a bucket and get to the rim pretty much at ease there. So, like, this is going to be a game that I think is just back and forth at the rim. You don't really need to win from behind the arc because they're going to get plenty of looks, slashing it in the pick and roll. So, I mean, I think this game is going to soar, too.
Okay. Points. Out there in northern Colorado, I'm sure Ben Carey's out there somewhere smiling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
W's. Love to see it. Yeah, Devin, I miss Queens. Glad she's back. So am I. It feels right. It really does. All right. What other plays do we have on the hardwood, Javon? You got a couple others that you like?
I do.
I see a weird, stinky mid-major dog on your best bets.
I do. I like UNC Greensboro going on the road against Vandy, which I guess we've been talking a lot about these games that we think are going to have a good amount of points. This one's kind of the opposite. I really like their defense in this spot. And for Vandy, like with no Tyrion Lawrence, their offense really has no sort of hope nor sort of direction. They've been pretty pitiful. Like Ezra Manjan is not a point guard for this team, but he kind of has to a majority of spots. So UNCG, they play like a really Virginia-esque style of defense. Like if you watch them, it's very similar to like pack line. They have pack line elements to their defense because they want to leave nothing in the middle. They want to make you shoot. Kind of similar to, there's not the skill gap, but why I was fading our guy Stetson last night against Houston, because they're going to have to make them be jump shooters, and they're not great jump shooters. And with Vandy, the only times they've been able to be jump shooters successfully in this early season is with their bigs who stretch the floor. Like their guards have been absolutely pitiful, shooting, especially from three. So in this matchup, I think it's going to be like pretty similar. So I love their defense in this spot, especially when you have a couple of brothers, the Langley brothers, Kobe and Keyshawn, who are awesome, but they also like press them up the floor. They're literally like Javon Carter 1 and 2, playing like the half court press, 3/4 court press.
Press Virginia.
Like against like guards who are not supposed to be handling the ball because the guys they have to do that are hurt right now. That's going to be a problem. So I think they clamp them. Vandy's looked bad to begin the season, especially shooting. It's going to be a gross game, but I think there's a reason why we see like 3.5 down to 1.5 now in this game on the road. I think they get it done.
Okay, I'm with you. Some great movement there. And also just look at those two schools and the names, right? That already makes me want to fucking take UNC Greensboro right off the rip.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
100%.
And they've been a competitive team, a competitive mid-major who's been, towards the top of the standings in their conference for the last couple seasons, right? Defense first mentality, maybe that'll pay in Vanderbilt against a team who has not covered yet this season, does not respect coins, and has a new shit coach. I'm in.
Yeah.
I like it. We got Savage, got Dablick coming in hot with a subby. Sure. Love to see it. Big Dilf coming in hot. PP World Chip, I bet. Thanks, Big Dilf. You're lucky you just subbed, or else I'd chirp the heck out of you. W's, Big Dilf. Appreciate the support, though, Beast. All right. What other stinky games are there today?
Mississippi Valley State plays today.
Yeah. You
on the road against UConn.
45-point spread, huh?
And they're covering that. They're going to win by 50 plus. So, I mean, that's just goes without saying, especially like any team that has any like competent big against Mississippi Valley State. I mean, it's already over because they're that bad in general. But if you have a competent big, which they obviously do, it's over. They're going to win them by 50 plus.
Kind of reminds me of the Zach Edey versus Xavier angle last night, where Xavier found a way to still win. But I blame that on Purdue's absolutely new shit defense. I mean, they didn't.
But this is also like Xavier versus Mississippi Valley State. Let's not compare the two here.
Yeah,
this is probably the worst program across any sport in all of NCAA. Damn there.
I mean, get a hand up on Xavier there last night. Maybe I'm just pissed about that. Get a freaking hand up. Those guys were wide open all game. They should have fucking won that game outright. They could have. Purdue doesn't play a lick of defense. I don't know how the hell Zach Edey doesn't just drop a 40-piece on that team. They didn't have a big man. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
God damn, hate to see it. UConn laying with the points. Again, Mississippi Valley State, they are the worst team in college basketball, and that spread is ginormous. Look, guys, they're literally the worst team.
In Lemoyne.
Would you look at that? Lemoyne, who, by the way, had a great first game, great first home game in the NAC Javon. Lemoyne got a big-time win.
There we go.
Love to see it. Don't let Lemoyne get hot. Don't let the Dolphins get hot, Chad. It'll be too late. God, there's some terrible teams down there at the basement. Oy. Incarnate Words down there, sure.
Yeah,
we got
LAU should probably be lower.
They probably should. They are new show. Yeah, how about Lemoyne getting a big-time win at home? Sure. Putting up a fucking 60-burg? Making full-court shots?
Full court
shots? Make that?
W camera work from the Lemoyne team.
Why weren't they couldn't do any of this against Georgetown? They couldn't just put up the 67 points or 57 points? Shit, man.
That's unreal.
Xavier going to be a top 3 team the next 2 years. Don't sleep. I'm not going to argue against you. I believe in Xavier. I believe in Sean Miller, although he's kind of a piece of shit. He's a really good basketball coach, and he will have that program back. I'm with you. Bro, that Lemoyne gym is hilarious.
That actually
You really be drilling full-court shots. Guys, they couldn't make a fucking layup in the first game of the season. Now they're hitting full-court shots. The Lemoyne Dolphins have really grown up so fast, Chad. Good to see.
Dude,
They're really
where even is that school?
Lemoyne is in – God, I looked it up. Where the fuck is it? Is it in Philly? It's in New York.
New York.
It's in New York. Princeton Review names it one of the best 389 colleges in the U.S. There's no way that's a real headline they're putting on their website.
389.
They're bragging about.
Dude.
Not even top 300, top 389. I mean, does that mean they're 389?
They got to be 389. That's insane.
Okay, I don't know why the heck they're. Yeah, they are going to lacrosse. Booking with Vegas. And people forget in 30 minutes we find out where the hell the Redwoods are going. So let's keep moving and grooving there, Javon. A couple other games I wanted to talk about in college basketball before we talk about the MAC. Don't get too excited now, chat. Wright State versus Toledo. That one interested me a little bit. Not really sure why Wright State is a favorite in that spot, Javon. Was thinking about maybe targeting them and fading Toledo, who's looked great to start the season, and maybe back in a little Wright State here at home in a nasty spot.
100%.
You like that?
I like Wright State too. I'm with you there.
What about Colgate and Syracuse? Initially thought Colgate was a short dog here, but now they're up to 6.5, and they opened up a 5-point dog. Maybe Syracuse rolls and gets, I believe, their first cover of the season. Yep.
Yeah.
It would be their first cover of the season.
I think they beat them too the last time or two. Maybe
Colgate has beaten them the last 2 times they've played.
Yeah.
Last year, Colgate beat them by 12, and the year before that, they beat them by 15, put up a 100-burger at Syracuse both the last 2 years. They played Syracuse every year, actually. That is crazy.
My old roommate had a rack on Syracuse when Colgate beat him. Had 100 points against them.
Sure.
Well, maybe you got to hang them up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Tell him respectfully to hang him up, Goots. That's the worst that I've heard all week.
Exactly what I told him when I watched them lose. I said, hang him up.
Unreal.
Golly.
Unreal.
Maybe it's Syracuse. They're about to be at 7 on the spread, Javon. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's the side I got to take in that game.
Yep. Bellarmine plus 4.5, down from plus 6 against Chattanooga is undefeated. That one catches my eye.
A little bit.
Matchup has always been favored for Colgate against the Syracuse zone with how they shoot threes, not as necessarily the case.
That is a great point.
Great points. Great points. All right. What other games? I want to make sure we're not missing anything. Of course, Oakland is a favorite against Bowling Green, but they're fake sharp every single week. They were last year, and they never came through or respect a coin. So not so fast, Oakland. I'm not falling for that bullshit. Although it is a little bit weird to see them as a favorite here at home, right?
Yep.
What other games? There was one other one. Oh, George Washington, I wouldn't mind taking. They flipped from a dog to a fave here at home. They've still got some studs on that team. A couple kids from Baltimore who are beasts. Don't sleep on George Washington. Hallstro's been a little disappointing so far this season. I don't know if I want to fade them, but they did lose to Princeton in their last game, and they were -2. FanDuel boost, Duke, Kansas, Creighton to win, plus 200. One of those teams is going down, bro.
Yeah, it's not going to be Creighton, but let's take the Champions Classic dogs.
It might be Duke, folks. It might be Duke.
Might be.
UMass Lowell is only getting 4.5 points against Georgia Tech, I bet. That's hilarious.
Yeah. You want to talk about Texas A&M SMU?
Sure.
Should be a pretty solid game, at least for a little bit.
SMU getting 5.5 points here at home against Buzz Williams, coming off a monumental win in that last contest against Iowa State. Fake sharp PAD, the Buckeyes. I would not mind backing SMU here at home. What do you think, Javon?
Kind of torn because they're always fake sharp when they play at home. We've seen that story a million times now, and we've taken it a couple times too. I do think this is going to be a disgusting game. Like, my one problem with SMU here is I think Texas A&M is too athletic for them at pretty much every single level. So, I don't know how SMU is going to be able to score. But, on the other side, Texas A&M's offense doesn't match up particularly poorly, but they just also haven't been able to score. They're not going to shoot over SMU, which is really how you beat them. So, I'm not too sure. I definitely lean a little bit with the Aggies in this spot, but it's hard to press the button.
You lean the Aggies to stay hot and keep taking care of business. How's SMU's guard play? That's what we need to know here. They still got Chuck Harris. They have Zerg Phelps still. They have good guards.
It's just one of them has to be ridiculously hot. Zerg Phelps is going to chuck every single game. Chuck Harris I don't think the volume has been there the first couple games nearly as much as I kind of would have expected. But like if one of them is off and they're all going to have tough matchups against the Texas A&M defense, like they're not scoring points. So that's strange. Like they need to drive to the hoop and get to the free throw line. That's really how they're going to score in this game. It's their only hope. But in the same vein,
Tyrese Radford probably about to have a field day, huh?
Yeah, in the same vein though, I look at this game and I say, just off a first look, how's there going to be points? Because both these offenses suck and these are good defenses, but total's been moving up ever so slightly. So I mean, if that happens, that probably is a little more Texas A&M Moose Fest to me than SMU clamping this game. Because the only reason SMU could stay in this game is if this is the ugliest game of all time, in my eyes.
Okay. 100% of the handle was on the over in that game, by the way.
How?
I don't know. How is 86% of bets, but 100% of the handle on something? That doesn't even make sense mathematically.
I bet.
That doesn't even make math sense.
I bet.
Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. How can something have 86% of bets, but 100% of handle?
That might be cake. Might be cake.
That just doesn't play. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Somebody crunch the numbers on that. Let me know how that looks. Okay? What the hell? Okay? You want to go Tyrese Radford, my arch nemesis, who was once a friend with Buzz Williams. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Any late night geysers before we move to Mac? We've got App State and late night beef. We got App State only getting 2.5 points here.
Yeah, line's pretty weird. But
that line is stinky.
I'm good because I don't know what that Oregon State team is like just yet. I think there's a lot to figure out, especially coming off of that super weird game against Troy that went to double overtime for no reason. Like I'm a big Jordan Pope fan. I just don't know if he's ever going to be efficient enough to be the guy. But nights that he's on, they're not losing to teams like App State. But this is a strange game that I just want no parts of. The weird, I guess, late night game that I was eyeing for a little bit. I think we might get a Baylor Moose Fest against UMKC. Which
no way you want to back the Roos.
No, I don't. I'm saying
you want to fade the Roos.
Yeah, I want to fade them, which I honestly kind of like UMKC's team, but if they're going to run with Baylor, which they've been trying to create this little defensive identity, and they've been good, like defensively, they were last season, but whenever they got into these games with these teams that are going to run, they end up running with them every single time, which is kind of the antithesis of what they want to do. So, like, Baylor's looked like moose pissed the last couple of games against, I don't even know what the name of that D2 school was that they played. They looked terrible for especially the first half of that game. It's Gardner-Webb, too. They weren't hitting shots. They looked super inefficient. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I disrespect UMKC a little more because of the shot-making power that they have than maybe Vegas does, but seeing a 24.5 line up like a point or so from the open is pretty interesting to me, the way they've looked the last couple of games. So this is kind of screaming the Baylor game where they put up 100 and every shot is falling and you don't want to get in front of them here.
Yeah, we haven't gotten the Baylor 100 bird yet. This could be it tonight against the Roos. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chad, I'm pretty sure we're doing a surge stream here with Shelly and Mikey in about 20 minutes. So make sure you guys stick around. Also, make sure you guys freaking check out props.cash. I don't know how many times I got to say it before you guys download the free app, and at least check it out before you purchase it and use promo code BOOKIT for 25% off your first month. Why would you not try it for a month? You get 25% off. It's already not that expensive. And you see if you hit some bets, you see if you hit some prize picks entries, and you go about your day. If you don't, you cancel it, you call it. But guys, this has saved me on prize picks. Props.cash has fucking been an absolute savior to my bankroll on prize picks. And I'll tell you what, the rest of the squad will tell you the same thing. Lauren sneakily is using props.cash all the time. She fucking loves it. Javon is in that bitch, checking lines, checking history, checking everything. Go check out props.cash. I promise you guys it's going to help you hit more prize picks entries. There's no other app like this that gives you the data that props.cash does for any major sport. Okay, go check it out. The UI UX is fire. All right, props.cash, one of the best apps out there if you're playing prize picks. or if you're betting player props on the books. It's a no-brainer. If you guys are betting prize picks or props on the books and you're not using props.cash, that's a little bit weird, in my opinion. That's how good it is. That's how freaking helpful it is. Go check it out. Promo code BOOKITS, 25% off.
There you
Okay.
go.
Dubs. Any other games before we move on to the Maction? I know Javon is very excited to talk about the Mac today.
Of course, itching for the Maction.
Let's move to it. I got a play that I like.
Let's hear it.
You could probably guess it by just looking at the 3 games, the 3 options we have today in the Mac. You could probably guess what play I'm on.
Yeah.
Give me the Zips. Plus 3.5. Opened up plus 8s. I don't know what the heck's going on in Eastern Michigan, but it's not good. That team has lost their last 3 games in a row, and it's been ugly. Maybe they got out to a little bit of a fraudulent hot start there. Eastern Michigan, never really a good team in the MAC. But they have beaten Akron pretty good the last 3 times they played them, and Akron is coming off of dropping a goose egg. Javon, they put up a 0 pace, 0 Berg, you could call it, in their last contest against Miami of Ohio, though, who has probably the best defense in the MAC. So I give them a pass. I want to buy low on this Akron offense, who, in my opinion, is better with Under Cuffler at QB. I know we made a joke about Under Cuffler in his name 3 weeks ago, but he's been the starter since. And honestly, I think he's better. So go ahead and give me Akron, and the points could not be sharper with the splits and with the movement on Akron plus 3.5. Lock it in before you get to 3. I mean, the spread just keeps on moving and grooving, chat. This is the football play of the day on the gridiron if you're looking to get some action in there. Okay?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I'm with you there. I just hope that we're not getting duped by some secret news with that massive move.
Yeah, I couldn't find shit. I'm still seeing squares up and things up for, both teams.
Yeah.
With all their starters and QBs and RBs and shit. So I'm not seeing anything. Now the line, Javon, I'm with you. Like, it's giving me weird vibes. It's come down, almost fucking 6 points.
Yeah.
In the MAC with a total of 39, right? That's significant. So it's either going to be the sharpest play of the day or the game's going to start and we're going to find out that 7 dudes on Akron are freaking 7 dudes on EMU are suspended or some shit like that. But we move. I'm not seeing any bullshit about it. Maybe just wait to lock that one in, chat, until before the game in case there's any fluke shit. Any bets in the Toledo game or Western Michigan NIU?
Nothing for me. I'm pretty signed off on this Maction slate personally.
Any prize pick squares in any sport that you want to go over before we head to the ice?
I'm going to head to the ice and circle back.
You want to go to the ice?
Yeah.
All right. Chad, don't let Javon get hot on the ice. It might be too late. He's been spoon feeding some winners in hockey. Last night, Squad Ride Cash. That was free, Javon. Great play. Let me know what you're liking today because I'm sure as hell listening after these last couple plays.
Taking the Yotes plus 1.5 against the Stars, which
nasty.
I think this game is going to be a tight one all throughout. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if we see this one go to overtime. The Stars they started off the season pretty lackluster offensively, and now they've kind of started to get it together, and they're coming off of, 3 straight big wins on the road. Last game against the Wild in Minnesota, they put up 8 goals, so they really look like they're rounding into form here. And the Coyotes are also coming off of a pretty high-scoring game where they put up 7 against Nashville on the road. But other than that, they have been, pretty poor these last handful of games. They're the team that everybody kind of hopes is like the Ducks, where like they have their little fun run as a pretty public team as an underdog, especially when they're at home. Now they're on the road against the Stars team who, kind of looks like they figured it out to this point. They look really, really good. I think this one's going to be a little more of a defensive battle than people think, the way that these two teams are playing right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see a 3-2, win really either way, but I wouldn't be shocked if we see this one go into overtime. I really like the spot for the Yotes here to make it weird in Dallas on the road.
Is this system plus 190? System play? Arizona?
Kind of is. That's not hasn't really been the same thing this year. Like with NHL, you got to kind of find your systems year to year. It's not going to be one that you see like over the course of 3 years be the same, but haven't really found that one yet, the system for this year. But other than just, I don't know, fading goalies off of back-to-back shutouts has been pretty air. There's only been a handful of those, but this is just more kind of fading a team that I think everybody thinks is figured it out lately. They've looked really good offensively. Robo even might have a pretty good game today, ripping, because I think you're going to be behind from the start of the game. But I like the Yotes. Keep this one ugly and keep it close and maybe win it outright.
Okay, maybe a little outright dub. I mean, we've seen the juice on the over Javon flip, which is a good sign, I feel like. Initially minus
Well,
120 to the under 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, it was at 6.5. Now it's at 6.
Oh, shit.
Which, with those teams coming off a combined 15 goals in their last 2 games, is pretty interesting. So
it is a little interesting.
Yeah,
okay,
it is. It is interesting, and I mean, both these teams. I mean, they haven't played since the weekend, so you got the Yotes playing Saturday, Stars played Sunday, so you got a game of rest there. Maybe they come out pretty rusty, and it's just a gross little start to the game.
All right. It looks like Dallas has not lost to Arizona in years. I'm looking at the last couple matchups.
I mean,
it's been a while.
Sucked.
Yeah. Maybe they get hot and turn the page here tonight. All right.
Good. Yeah. Stars off of the nice little 3-0 road trip coming back home. Yotes are playing.
They should be
pretty mid hockey right now. So we'll see how that works out.
Okay. Dubs. I'm in on Arizona plus 1.5. Give me that point. We'll hold on for dear life. I'm in.
Yeah, and just one that I have to point out, there is no chance I have the stones to play it, but the fact that the Nashville Predators are pushing minus 200 against the Ducks is absolutely insane. Like, that is ridiculous, the way the Ducks are playing, the way the Preds are playing, and the fact that they're super injured now. You just had Tommy Novak go on the I don't know if it was long-term IR, but he's hurt, out for at least a couple weeks. So the Preds laying minus 192 is criminal. So I don't know if I can get to the counter playing that and laying that much with them, but a lot of the people are going to be on the Ducks today with that plus price.
Damn. That is a stinky ML on the ice. Nashville almost up to minus 200, sitting at 5-9 on the season. They've lost 3 in a row. They've lost 4 of their last 5. The Ducks, somehow, some way, are still 8-6, coming off a win against San Jose. Sure. That is wild. And the crazy part is, I cannot believe that the spread, it's actually moving towards Nashville as well. Not much, 5 cents maybe, but usually when a line opens up like this, where it's just a astronomical favorite when they probably shouldn't be, the public hammers the dog and the line moves back. The line's even moved 5 cents towards Nashville.
Yeah, and that's with like the injury news that I was talking about. Like, it's dropped in the past couple of hours, so it's been within that move too, which is really makes no sense to me. So again, I don't know if I can get to laying minus 200 damn near with the Preds, but can't catch me anywhere near the Ducks today. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no chance. Might have to just be a 2U. Don't overthink it. Preds ML, and you check the score afterwards, and you just pray that you didn't just lay a 200 that lost.
Yeah,
right?
Just maybe.
Dubs. Any other plays? Any other squares you want to go over with the people, Javon? Before we start crafting up squad rounds.
Yeah, good with the Yotes.
Sure. Goots, run that shit. Let's craft up the squad round. Sure.
There you go. Sneak Crab's appearance.
Sneak Little Crab. If you guys haven't seen that movie, Land of the Lost, grow up. It's one of the funniest movies of all time. Let's go, Goots. W Squad rides. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Let's keep smacking bets. 155, 110, and 4. I repeat, 155, 110, and 4. Let's keep winning bets. Plain and simple. Okay. Javon, what do you love today? I don't even care what you like. What do you love?
I love all my best bets. I'll be honest with you there, but Greensboro is probably my favorite, at least on the hardwood there. I think that's an ugly game. They're going to make it ugly, but I like that.
Greensboro. Okay. Plus 1.5 skis.
Yep.
Can you even still get them to plus 1.5?
Where's it at?
I don't even know if they're still at 1.5, folks. I'm going to do some data checking. Let's see if we can find UNC Greensboro.
Let's take a peep.
At minus 1.5 or plus 1.5. I think they might just be a +1. FanDuel, they're +1.5, -120. I hate that.
Just take the one.
Everywhere else, they're +1. Let's just take the +1.
Yeah, that's
Right.
yeah. If it was a higher scoring game, I would say take the ML, but you might need every point in that game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm good with that. Can we put Michigan State in here?
We can, yeah.
Okay, cool. +4, good. I would not mind putting that Akron bet in there, but if you're scared about any sort of bullshit or injuries or fluke stuff, we can leave it out.
Yeah, I probably would.
You want to
I
put
like both our overs though.
I do too. I was about to say, do you want to put Arizona in there on the +1.5 though? I love that play.
Yeah, perfectly down with that.
Sure. Chewy's up 16.5 units the last 9 days. Let's fucking go, Chewy.
Good.
Stay locked in, brother. Love to see it. Arizona +1.5 on the ice. Sure. W's. We got sub bangs. 07 DJ Lean. Sure. Thanks for the subby, my man. 13 months. Dang. Holy smokes.
Thanks.
I like that Queens over a lot.
Yeah, I think we just keep it simple. Keep it simple and put both our overs the last two.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that total up to 168 some places now.
168 is crazy.
Total's already high as fuck.
Jesus.
Guys, that Queens High Point game, if you want an exciting game, if you want an NBA style game, NBA type game where they're just running up and down the court, shooting a ton and putting up points, that's the one that you're going to want to lock into. Also, Northern Colorado as well. But this game I've got circled for the last couple of days. High Point and Queens. It's the over matchup of the century, these two teams. Okay. High Point Queens over 167. We'll put it up. And then you want to go with the NoCo Colorado State over 155.5?
Yep.
Okay. How about Colorado getting ranked, by the way, in CBB?
Yeah, sure.
Thoughts on that?
Sure. I mean, they'll be like a sneaky team. I don't know. I think they're kind of like Utah was last year. Like they're going to beat a couple big teams at home, like that can't play on the road in the Pac-12. But dude, when their offense isn't clicking, aka when KJ Simpson goes 6 for 24 from the field in one game, they're going to be bad.
TMC, that Queens total opened up at 164.5 and moved up to 168, pulled back down to 167. I still like the over. I don't give a shit. Splits are looking sharp. Just knowing those two teams, I'm okay with squaring up for catch and taking this over. You're going to see plenty of points. Okay? Just plenty of shots, plenty of opportunities. All right?
Yeah.
Chats, 5 plays, 5 winners. Get your freaking votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. UNC Greensboro +1. Michigan State +4. We got Arizona +1.5 on the ice. Give me High Point and Queens over 167. And then NoCo and CSU over 155.5 as well in college basketball chat. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. We got about 8 minutes. We can talk about some prize pick squares while we wait for this vote to complete. But chat, if you're in YouTube, come over to the Twitch and vote in the chat for the squad rides. If you guys are in here watching on Twitch, you got no excuses. Click a button, make a vote, all right? Make a call. Throw some stones. Pick your favorite play in that poll, chat. Right now, Michigan State is running away with it. Interesting.
It's a big game, I guess. Everybody wants to bet the
It's a big game. I want to watch it, but chat, remember how we win? Remember how we click the right button and we don't just pick the most exciting game? Remember? We got to do that again tonight. Even though there's only one cool game on there, we still have to do it tonight. Click the game, click the button. If you know it's smacking, don't just click the game that's on TVs. Okay, you can still put that on the other screen. All right, but we need freaking UNC Greensboro on the big screen class every month.
Yeah.
High Point Queens over.
Grabs, you might be underwater right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're back. You're back. You're back. You're back.
Tens?
Yeah, you're back from Bikini Bottom.
Tens?
Did you go for a pool party,
Tens.
Krabs?
Yeah.
It might have been the pool party
yeah.
getting me. Oh, we are back. Oh, we are back. What the hell is going on, chat? Why are they trying to take me out? That could be Jordan
Unreal.
Poole after chirping the heck out of him for being the worst basketball player I've ever seen. Okay. Crabs released to the ocean. Sure. Let me go. Let me be. Chats, I think we're going to have a surge stream after this as well. Stick around. Mikey and Shelly running the show. All right, for some winners on surge stream. Make sure you guys come up and pitch the play of the day, your favorite play of the day. Come up with a sell job. Don't just come up and bullshit. Okay. And yeah, it might be the books trying to take me out. People are talking. Don't let me heat up. All right. We've had a couple good days in a row. Don't let me get hot, chats. Crab's camera following him to the depths. Yeah, this thing does follow me. I'm not going to move it around much more because the mic is going to explode. Okay. But chat, lock in these plays and let's take a peep real quick, Javon, at the Prize Picks board.
I think for the Prize Picks board, the question starts with who are we taking on Michigan State for threes?
Yes, it does. Yes, it goddamn does.
I kind of want to go Hogard.
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on. Let's see. Also, chat, don't forget about that Netflix golf special tonight. People forget. That's happening live, I think, at like 6 p.m. Eastern. Pretty cool. Javon, I don't know if you're hip to that, but some PGA guys and F1 drivers in Vegas are playing a scramble today. Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. We got Ricky Fowler and Lando Norris. We got Max Homa and Alex Albon. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. CBB, let's see, Michigan State. Let's pull those guys up. Hogard, more than half a three. I definitely don't hate. Akins is at 1.5 as well. Malik Hall is up there. That guy can't shoot for shit. Tyson Walker's up there for 1.5. He hit 1 in the last game. I think it's got to be either Hogard or Tyson Walker. If you want to go Hogard, we can.
Yeah, I think it's Hogard. I think I've already seen it. Okay. And a couple of like the big games I had last year, just the Hogard big moment 3. That I just can't get that image out of my head tonight.
Okay. Hogard, more than half a 3. Is there another geyser we can fade or take on here, Javon? They got Elijah Pepper up.
Oh my God, the GOAT.
They got Elijah Pepper up.
He's such a bucket, dude.
They got him up there.
That just might have to be just a system you take it and live with the results.
Yeah, you just for the vibes.
You know, it'd be interesting too. They don't have Marquette guys up for assists. I was gonna say Tyler Kolek ends up being out. You could have a sneak like Cam Jones assist maybe, but they don't have that square up. I guess for good reason. Yeah, they don't have a lot of the higher total games up on the board, which kind of sucks. Maybe they'll load them up, but I guess other than them creating Iowa, it's probably not a bad one to get into square wise.
Definitely not. Yeah, is there a guy on Creighton that we can back here? Like, what's holding us back from taking your guy Ashworth, who's just
Nothing.
a fucking menace?
I was just about to say, I would not mind taking him the slightest.
Although his assist square is weirdly high tonight.
At 4?
Well, I guess that's what he's been doing. I guess that's all he's done this season.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. But, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind just taking his PRA.
Yeah. 18.5 PRI.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Chat, looks like we got Michigan State and Sparty on a neutral court here against Duke tonight. Everyone and their mother already bet Duke immediately after they lost against Arizona last week. It was like one of the weirdest things ever. Guys, I've never seen people talk about college basketball games that early before. So when they had it circled to bet Duke, I had their combos last week circled for me to fade Duke and fade their bets when they got them in early. People literally came on the surge stream last week and pitched freaking Duke. The game was a week away. That's when I knew it was Sparty, and we're riding with Tom Izzo. Always a good thing. And Tyson Walker and AJ Hogard tonight. Chat, do not sleep on that Hogard, more than half a 3 as well on the Prize Picks board. Okay. A team and B team today. Yes, Jake, I promise we will do an A team and B team today. I promise. Okay. We will have an A team and B team today. We need it. Crabs, let's lock in on CVB. I'm getting there, my man. We're turning the page. We're getting winners. Okay. Today, I like the cards. I do. That Queen's High Point over. I think we're in a good spot. Michigan State, do not sleep on 1 bit. Okay. That NoCo over. That nasty UNC Greensboro tonight, barely getting any points. That one might be the one, folks, against Vanderbilt.
Might be.
Come on. Vanderbilt is moo shit. The only reason they're a favorite in that game is because of their name and they're playing against a mid-major. That's the only reason. You stack those two teams up with no names on the back or front of their jerseys, and UNC Greensboro is the better squad. They win that game. All right?
Yeah.
Chat, lock in Michigan State. Any news on the side quest? Can't talk about it yet. Crabs locking for C2B. We are locking, bro. We are locking. Okay. What's the court POD that every capper's on today? Javon, you mentioned one in C2B today. I forget what you said, though.
I mean, Illinois is definitely up there. It's really the most that I've seen is Illinois and the Creighton over. And the one that I would be a little more willing to be on the opposite side on is Illinois.
Okay. Chat, squad ride, Michigan State with the points. Lock it in, tail responsibly every single day, whether you like it or not, and you make money because we're 50 games over 500. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Stick around for the Surge stream and go check out where those PLL teams are ending up because that's about to get announced right now on ESPN by Paul Rabel. Very curious to see where the Archers, where the Redwoods, where the whole fucking squad ends up with their hometowns getting picked today. All right, chat. W's. Javon, great work today. You were in your Duffy with some winners. Love to see it. Chat, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing.